I'm Enzo Ferrari.
Is that your impression of Adam Driver from Ferrari?
It's me, Enzo Ferrari. I mean, what? Come on. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back, or for the first time, to Requiem for a Tuesday. I am Adam Pecora, and Justice is here.
And this is for Adam Pecora's hair.
I do it for Italy.
And his hair.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking Ferrari today, as well as, unfortunately, migration. I think that's it. It's inevitable.
It deserves its time in the sun.
It doesn't. It's inevitable, though. There's nothing I can do to stop it. He won't stop bringing it up. He really has brought it up too many times.
You just have to think about what cartoons are going to be like after seeing a movie about fucking ducks. Mallards, bro. They're important.
All right, we'll get to it later, but no.
Beautiful.
I like the American black duck is my favorite duck, and you don't know
Guess
fucking
what?
shit
That
about
duck
ducks.
might even be in that movie.
No shit, it's a real animal, so why wouldn't it be in a movie if it's
I'm
supposed
just
to be
saying,
about ducks?
you might like it if that's your favorite duck, okay?
Okay, but
Is it a bigger one? There's herons in it.
I
There's
don't
herons?
care. I don't care. Did you see The Boy and the Heron?
There's some vultures. The Boy and the Heron? I did not.
Did you listen to my episode on it?
I think, yeah, parts of it.
Okay.
Maybe not
Anyway.
all of it.
If you're liking what you're hearing so far, rate, review, and
MicrowaveMinutes.com. MicrowaveMinutes.com. MicrowaveMinutes.com.
Yeah, his show will maybe come out eventually.
420, baby.
No, it won't.
Yeah.
There's not a chance.
There'll be the first episode at least.
Yeah, the next one will be out by Thanksgiving.
You better believe it.
Okay. Rate, review, and subscribe to Requiem for a Tuesday. If you're on Apple, Spotify, whatever it is, hit the like button, hit the comment thing, whatever you want to do that. That would be great. Me and Justice have music, multiplex. Check it out. Good stuff. All right. That's enough. There's merch and stuff. Click some links. There's a lot of links below, wherever you're listening.
Skydiving or skinny dipping?
Is that a reference to something, or you're just asking?
Tech gear for your ears. That's multiplex. Those are the two tags. That's what I've.
What?
Skydiving or skinny dipping? Multiplex. You know.
That's our what?
That's our tagline.
What does that mean?
That's for the next record, dude.
I don't like it.
Oh man.
I don't approve of that.
Oh man.
I veto that hard. That's horrible.
Yeah, let's get into it.
I would never go skydiving ever, probably.
Yeah, I believe that.
I
don't think I would either.
I
to
would
be
do
honest.
indoor skydiving, which I know is dumb, and some people are like, "Then just go do it for real. What's the point?" It's like thousands of feet in difference is not the same thing. Like, they're not the same thing.
Right.
I can fall from the height of indoor skydiving and survive if something malfunctions. That is not the case
So
when you fall out of the sky.
I've been really curious, when you go and do these experiences, if they simulate you flying up in a plane, and they're like, okay, sit down and put a little seatbelt on, and now we're gonna fly up, and then they start the big fan, and then you jump off. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know how it works. I know that it's a raised platform with a drop down.
Correct.
It's not like you go down and then up.
Right.
Yeah,
you're straight up jumping from height.
But is it a simulated experience? Does it get all dark and
Well, it's not supposed to be dark ever, so no, I don't think it gets dark on purpose. I don't know. I honestly haven't looked into it because I just assume it's not worth what it costs.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it costs, but I just assume it's too much.
Yeah.
I've done this could not be a subject that I've done less research into.
Skydiving?
Indoor specifically. I've definitely done zero into actual skydiving. I have no interest.
Yeah.
I don't like, we just talked about this in the last episode we did together. I don't like sitting in a commercial airplane. It freaks me the fuck out. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
Yeah, I remember that.
Because here's the thing. It's like,
You're
technically the
afraid
technology
of it
has never
flying.
been better, but at the same time, the lackadaisical attitude of the manufacturers, the maintenance crews, and even the air traffic controllers are all concerning issues, you know? Like, planes are not being built to the same level of quality that they used to.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is a fact.
Are they,
Like
are they
Boeing,
running out of materials?
No, Boeing used to have like a perfect record for like whatever, like mechanical failure. Like they never had fault because they always did like what made the perfect plane versus what, no cost cutting, no labor, whatever, no labor cuts, no bullshit. And then they did it for like stock price, whatever, and their quality has dropped off. Allegedly. I don't really know a lot of information. I don't keep up with the aviation industry that heavily.
Sounds like you need to drive more.
I don't like
you
driving.
need to get yourself a race car.
Well, I like driving.
Would you drive a Ferrari?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially in open roads across Italy.
150%.
You know what I mean? Like, that's
Yeah.
a no-brainer. That seems like the greatest time ever.
Yeah. But dangerous at the time.
I think that would really tie my roots back into my DNA. You know what I mean? I like, if I were to drive a Ferrari through the streets of northern Italy, I would probably just tap into history and just know the language.
That sounds so absurd.
You know what I mean?
I don't know why you would think that.
I think I would pull that Ferrari up to Milan and I'd be like, fucking Arrivederci, what's up? You know what I
don't
mean?
know about that.
I think I'd be like, Pucatalano, Mostocatio. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of pitter-patter Italian. And then you just you hit the little spice in there. It's got a rhythm to it. You just got to learn the rhythm. I don't think you don't even have to know words, really.
Is it just a night out on the town after pulling up in your Ferrari?
Yeah. That'd be great.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, go pet some goats or something,
Mm-hmm.
eat cheese, hang out. That's what it's all about. Cruise on down to Calabria. Believe that is where my heritage emerges from, according to the DNA thing.
You got a DNA thing?
Well, my sister did, so I just got it. I had her email it
Copied.
to me.
Yeah.
It's the same information. So worked out great. Calabria.
How much Italian?
50. I knew that already.
Oh shit, that's really sick.
Yeah. I mean, there's technically like those tiny little percentage, you know what I mean? So it's like 46
Okay.
and then like 46 German.
Okay.
But yeah, both sides were purebred. So I'm a half blood, like 100%.
You're a German Italian.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I don't know if they've ever gotten along in history. So
You're just a war within yourself all the time.
yeah, I mean, you should see my parents. It's a nightmare.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine.
Yeah. You don't wanna. So congrats. Anyway. Not fun. Just sat in the car with them for 6 hours combined.
Wait,
each way.
Where'd you go?
To Indiana today. Great stuff.
Oh, that's amazing.
A lot of fun chats. Anyway. So, Michael Mann's Ferrari.
Did you watch any movies with your parents, like before or after traveling?
No.
Okay.
Well, I saw the Iron Claw with my dad, which we'll get to.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
There we go. That's
Anyway.
exciting.
Anyway,
first.
go ahead.
What?
You seem to want to.
I
you seem to want to do it.
Did
Yeah.
I seem enthused?
Yeah, go for it.
Well, we're doing one of your favorite guys, Michael Mann film.
That's right.
That's I'm not gonna lie, I've not really watched anything other than Miami Vice. Is that right? Did I get that right? He did Miami Vice, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the only other Michael Mann film that I've seen.
You've never seen Heat?
With De Niro.
Yeah,
I think I've seen parts of it, but I don't remember the whole thing.
bruh.
I
That's
know.
sad. That's sad. That's an all-time movie.
Yeah.
So many things have ripped that movie off or homaged it, whatever. But it basically invented every heist movie that's come out since.
What a great time.
They completely take it from Heat.
Oh, word.
Grand Theft Auto basically ripped off Heat. Like, you can't, like, nothing comes close to that in terms of, like, action sequences. They have, like, 7 of the best ever. It's unbelievable. These guys were all, like, SWAT trained.
It's like 95, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, fast forward 2023.
Pacino's off the rails. It's unbelievable.
It's okay.
It's like implied that he's on coke technically, but they never show it at all or say it explicitly. But they cut the scenes in which he was doing coke. But it's not referred to at all in the movie. But he acts like he's on coke for sure. Too much. Anyway.
My God.
So, Ferrari.
Yes.
Adam Driver.
Yes, sir.
Listen, I love Adam Driver. He's incredibly talented. The accent goes in and out the whole time. Not a fan. You know, I don't know how stuff like that happens. Like, do you just not notice day to day that it's different? Because, like, you do multiple takes for everything, always. So it's like, how does it not sync up? Is it because, like, you shoot like 5 scenes in one day and then move on, and then the accent's different that day, and then when it's edited back, that's what I think happens. Right?
Yes, I think that's what happens.
Okay.
But I don't know anything about it.
That must be it, because throughout the movie, it's just so all over the map. Like, it breaks the most at the end of the movie when he's talking to his kid.
Yeah.
He's literally just talking like Adam Driver.
Yep.
And that's the most glaring one. That is my biggest complaint. My second biggest complaint is that Shailene Woodley just is an American person entirely in this movie, basically. She's like Italian like 20% of the time.
She's not supposed to be Italian, I don't think.
Yes, she is.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't. I
all
thought
Italian.
I heard that when she started.
Nobody in the movie's American, I don't think at all.
Well, she did not do a good job of hiding that.
Basically, everyone in the movie is Italian.
Yeah.
And then there's like a few that are not for the racing situation. But all of the personal relationships that are happening in the movie, they're all just Italian people. If you thought otherwise, that's the issue. So, yeah, that was rough. Like it's weird because her performance was technically good, but the accent you're just not Italian. It's just, I was confused by this at first also. I was like, oh, he's got an American side chick.
Yeah.
But then later it was like, oh, our son Piero. And it's like, oh, she's, wow. And her name's like Liera Lamona. Like, it's like, she's so Italian. Some shit. I don't remember. But
what did you think of Penelope Cruz's accent?
it was fine.
Yeah, I thought that
she made perfect sense. That was the best casting in the movie.
I agree.
Because my whole issue with her is that she just doesn't fit. Or the roles are never right for her, I guess. But in English language movies, I typically feel like she's a bad actress.
Mm-hmm.
I thought her performance was phenomenal in this. Yeah, I'm sure it was an easier adjustment for her than anybody else to go Italian.
Weren't they in...
She was also the closest to age appropriate of anybody. She was still playing much older. But like, her and Adam Driver are both supposed to be 60.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah.
And Adam Driver looks older, but he doesn't look 60.
I want to do no goddamn fucking Italian movies.
I just rewatched that. It's so good.
So did I.
It's so good.
It's my favorite.
Yeah, dude, it's like one of the best movies ever made. It's fucking incredible.
Yeah,
it's
I agree.
so good. I'm so happy watching every part of that.
The whole Manson family thing is better on the rewatch.
Well,
Like,
I know
it just makes more sense. It's more grueling, I think.
Well, now I watch. Yeah, it's intense, but it's also I'm watching it now and I'm realizing just how many very famous people are in it too. I'm like, damn, Austin Butler was in this. I didn't even realize who that was at that time. You know what I mean?
Wait, yeah, who is he again?
Tex.
That's right. He's Tex.
I remember you. You run a little horsey. Great stuff. He just brings out the fucking flamethrower. It's so good. Love that shit. All right.
The callback when he's killing Nazis is hilarious.
Yeah. Nothing like killing Nazis. It always works.
Yeah.
People love it.
Yeah.
Show me more of it.
That's an American hero killing motherfucking Nazis.
There's also a scene in Ferrari. Getting back to that.
Yeah, we're talking about another movie. We
where
derailed.
there's very clearly a guy just completely overdubbed. It's like pretty early in the movie, but there's a guy talking to Enzo.
Oh my god, I think I know what you're talking about. I thought
And
it was
his
off.
mouth like doesn't match up, and then the camera like pans down and he kind of blurs out and keeps talking, but his mouth clearly isn't moving still.
Yes.
So they clearly
Wait.
fucked something up there. I caught that.
He said something incorrect? So he gave something away too early, something like that? I was under the impression that was from talking from earlier. It was like a fast forward, and I don't know why, but
No, definitely not.
I
It was an
remember
overdub.
it was just like two characters, one of them walking. It was Ferrari walking away.
No, I think he was sitting at a desk.
Okay.
I think they were both sitting across from each other. But yeah, that's the other thing with this movie. A lot of the movie is him getting into a car or getting out of a car or walking into a place or walking out of a place. And nothing happens when he goes in or out of those places. There's just a lot of shots of him walking around.
Yeah.
There's at least 10 straight minutes that you could cut of him just walking in and out of stuff in this movie.
His loneliness was like romanticized because of how often we just had to watch him be sad by himself.
See, I didn't feel that at all. It just felt like, what are we doing here? I was just like,
I thought that they went places
thought it
when
was
they were
way-
driving.
I thought it
all
could
the
have been way
driving
cut it.
scenes were nice. They were supposed to be that going from another place to another place. Still, to your point.
yeah, I don't get it.
I loved the fucking.
All the racing scenes were great.
Yeah.
Everything with driving. Look, Michael Mann can shoot the shit out of everything. There's not a bad shot in the whole movie.
It's such a thrilling sound.
Yes,
It was so
the sound
amazing.
was immaculate in this movie.
Yeah.
They deserve some technical Oscars.
100%.
For
They're
this
going.
shit.
I'm assuming they're gonna get something.
They should definitely get sound. Those engines were
Sounded literally
roaring.
incredible.
Yeah. Unbelievable. But look, here's the thing. They start the movie off with like a small little backstory text, and then they're just like 1957, and it's all very like disjointed right away. Right away it feels jumbled, and it's like they didn't know how to start this movie. And then all of a sudden there's 35 characters in the movie, and it's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, it intros with him and his mistress and their son, but she's Shailene Woodley, so she seems like she's an American chick. And then he sneaks out, but why does he need to sneak out? That doesn't make any sense, because she hears him leaving anyway.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, well, what was that supposed to mean? That's the first scene, in like the first shots of the movie. So right away, I'm like, I have no idea what that was
Who
about.
this man is supposed to be? Yeah.
Well, I mean, I knew that he was supposed to be Enzo Ferrari.
No, I know. I mean, like him himself, like what he does on his day to day, like what is going on, you know?
Yeah, like what is the reasoning for all of the odd behaviors that just happened?
Yeah.
And then it's just like, then it's like his wife, his mom, I'm assuming, you know, they don't officially address her as that right away, I didn't feel like.
Yeah.
And then there's like a guy who's maybe his assistant, maybe it's his friend, I don't know what he does, you know what I mean?
There's a lot of those guys.
Yeah.
There's like at least 6 or 7 of those types of
and I
guys that we meet.
suppose the point is that it doesn't matter because he's very selfish. Like maybe it's supposed to be like, even if it is intentional, the start of the movie's confusing as shit.
Okay, so
For me,
the actions that happened at that race, did that completely fuck over the rest of Ferrari's racing future? Like, are we supposed to know that?
at the end, you mean?
Yeah.
I think you're supposed to know what Ferrari is now, so I think it's just implied that it all worked out.
That's nasty to think about, and that kind of makes sense if we're supposed to be like not really rooting for that guy, you know?
You're not. You are supposed to be rooting for him. Michael Mann loves Enzo Ferrari.
Okay.
This is not. It's just an accurate portrayal of a great.
Yeah.
If you'll say that man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just not. He's not sugarcoating anything,
Right.
you know. But also, it literally wasn't their fault, the accident. But we got to get there. You got to go through the movie in sequence.
I know.
Justice. Come on.
I didn't reveal anything about the end.
It doesn't matter. It's just not in order.
Yeah.
You can't bounce around, and it doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll get there.
All right. So, anyway, after the confusing beginning, it's just a little slow for a little bit. And it's also, okay, so then they visit his son's grave, and it's like, well, I guess it said the year on his grave, but I was under the impression, like, oh, he's been dead, and they visit this constantly. But I believe he had died recently, and that's part of the reason why their marriage is the way it is.
Yes.
So this movie is definitely not a biopic. It is literally about like 6 months, which I think is an interesting idea. I just don't think they presented it that way.
It did seem like it went.
It seemed like you were supposed to
Fast.
know a lot going in.
Yeah.
And it seemed like that's very generous of Michael Mann to think that people have common knowledge about some Italian guy. Nobody in America knows shit about anybody from America, let alone Enzo Ferrari, okay? I know that he has an incredible name, and that's what works out for a lot of people. You know?
Yeah.
That's why I'm going to name my kid Bucatini Pecora. The kid's going to be a star. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe if I watched it again, but it may be less jarring, but it just really threw me for a loop, and I think the actor's choice could have been a little better. The casting. I don't know why I couldn't think of the word casting. Or they shouldn't have shown Shailene Woodley in the opening scene and made everything confusing.
The opening thing where
Because then he goes home to his wife, and she's just immediately screaming at him. She's like, that was the agreement. And it's like, okay, like I'm piecing together he's allowed to cheat, which she kind of says explicitly is a little exposition, but it's just a lot right up front.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like, it didn't feel like, oh, we're stepping right into this guy's day to day for me. It felt like, I feel like
jarring
I'm supposed
day to start.
Yeah, which I think I understand, I guess, the intention, but the way it came off to me was just like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Instead of a like, oh man, this guy's life is crazy. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't feel like I was stepping into anything.
Yeah.
I feel like I was like thrust into something.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be a positive too. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
In a negative way, it felt like I was just thrown into something without any context.
Yeah.
But yeah, Penelope Cruz was fantastic. You know,
I loved it. I had a great time.
There's a lot of funny moments throughout the movie too. There's some underrated comedy in here, I think. They know Italian people are silly. You know? There's some good jabs.
Their sex life was silly. They were just like,
the fight
they
fucks.
were hate fucking each other every time.
That's what Italians do. They like rile each other up so they'll bang
fuck.
it out. Which, hey, I'm all for it. Because over here, you just get into a fight and then that's it. And then you got to crawl your way out of it. That's not as good.
That's true.
Rather bang one out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Italy rules. You ever have carbonara?
Fuck yeah.
I don't even know if that's authentic. That might be. Olive Garden may have invented that.
I don't think
I
so.
wouldn't know though. You know what I mean?
I feel like it's.
I feel like Disney might have made up carbonara. Who knows?
No.
Anyway.
So
then, okay, here's my biggest gripe overall with the movie, right? It delves really deeply. Once you eventually click everything into place and you can find your bearings.
about 45 in.
Once you find your bearings, I think like the personal stuff is great and it's really in depth and you really do. They end up eventually interweaving stuff in a really good way where you do kind of just learn stuff about this guy.
Yeah.
And there's like slight flashback stuff, but it's almost really in a straightforward timeline.
They spent enough time having the Pagoda. What is his last name? I can't say it. The main racer, the one.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, but yeah.
They spent a good amount of time in the beginning of the movie, like making you like that character for sure.
Yes, he has fun introductions
that was
and
the
interactions.
first bad sign for me. I was like, oh, this poor kid.
Yeah, definitely.
I definitely had a feeling about it right away.
Because
he was
so this guy is like chasing him down, trying to join the team, basically.
Yeah.
And
He,
yeah, they just have like
seeks him out.
They
hard.
just have like playful, fun interactions, which is always nice.
They meet in the rain one time, Enzo and I want to say something with a J.
I don't know. There's too many.
Yeah,
There's too many. There's too many. I was gonna say gooks.
No,
that's not the right one. What is it? Dagos? I don't like that one. That's not the right one though. There's, I don't know, bunch of grease monkeys.
No.
Oh,
no.
So yeah, my biggest gripe though is that all the personal stuff, you get all of it. You learn a ton about the guy, and again, it's mostly through his just like day-to-day life-ish. But then when he's at work, they just go like, literally, which is in the trailer, which is not cut up at all, unedited. He just goes like, Enzo, you're out of money. And he's like, why? He's like, because you spend more than you make. And it's like, yeah. I mean, I don't think that's what he's asking. He's like, can I get some like information? And then that's it. And that's what's used to explain why they're in debt. And it's just kind of like, well, that's odd.
That's actually true. That's exactly how it goes down.
You spend more than you make.
It's this long shot of him walking into his office building, and that's what he comes into the office
but
learning.
That's the thing about the in and out. All of his scenes at work, he just goes like, drive a fast. The car, she needs to be fast. And then later, they don't even address any of his instructions. There's just better results later, basically. It kind of just goes without mentioning it. And then they just cut ahead to like a whole nother point in time. So it's just odd. All he does, they present him as a guy that just barks orders, which I'm pretty sure his legend is as like an engineer and designer of things.
Yeah.
So there's like a good scene with him and his kid looking at an engine,
and he's
which
like,
is nice.
You're a smart kid.
Yeah.
But he's also saying, like, my players are kind of stupid.
Well, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
But yes, it shows that he's always like demanding more of everyone at all times. We
Yeah.
get it. This is what these guys do. It's the Steve Jobs type, Henry Ford, whatever. It's all that shit.
I definitely got that.
You just bark at people forever and you're a genius.
Yeah.
Which, whatever, he was. I get it. Like, he did all the legwork. He's demanding of other people what he would put in.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, it's a rare drive. You can't just force people to do it. So he has to yell forever, basically. But yeah, so that's what bothers me. It's like, I thought that this was going to be some personal stuff, but that it was going to be like Ford versus Ferrari.
I didn't see that.
Okay, well, that movie is set in like the 60s. There is an Enzo Ferrari in it, but it's more about Ford. But it's
not Adam Driver?
No.
Right.
Good one. So it's about their whole process of like building a car in preparation for the race.
Oh, it's more technical.
Yes.
That would have been nice.
And I think there's definitely way less personal stuff because it's not supposed to be a biography. It's basically supposed to be about building that car and then that race.
Yeah.
But the plot of this was supposed to be his family turmoil while the business struggles in preparation for this race.
Yeah.
But all of his preparation for the race is just having really short conversations a lot of times.
And not really doing anything except for that one scene.
Well, I'm saying at work.
Oh, yeah.
Like his involvement with Ferrari, the company, he just has like multiple 30-second conversations all the time. And then the cars are just better.
Yeah.
And I just thought it would be more of him being at work doing more stuff. I don't know.
Just a little bit more.
There was just a lot of time wasted, like I said, just with like chats.
Yeah.
There's a lot of chit chat in this movie. It just seemed unnecessary. I don't know how else to put it. But then there'd be really like deep and great conversations that were longer and meant more to the story.
Right.
That definitely needed to be there, like with him and his wife or with him and his mistress, even him and his kid, like we said.
Mm-hmm.
All amazing stuff. I just feel like the edit for this was out of control. And they could have done a lot better of a job. This is just, I really think that's what it was.
Guys.
Yeah, I think that
needs a new cut.
It's a horrible edit.
Yeah.
Overall.
We need director's cut.
Like the actual cuts and shit, like again during the driving scenes, all that shit's incredible. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think there's any like
they probably
awkward
spent the
transitions
most
or
time
anything,
there too,
But that's what's odd to me. It seems like what he really wanted to do was make a movie about that race.
That race was so fucking cool.
But my somewhat theory is that like the budget went way over what they were thinking, and so they had to cut the racing scenes way down of the actual long distance race.
Yeah.
And so they had to just cut together a bunch of other shit to fill time.
Yeah.
So that's why it ends up being just so weird and talky in the middle for no reason. Because, I mean, the race is the last like 30 minutes of the movie, but it seemed like
it could have been 45.
It seemed like it was cut short. I don't know.
It did.
Because it was paced really, really slow, and then all of a sudden the race was just over.
I feel like I don't remember watching a lot of the commutes that they had to make from place to place. You know what I mean? Like
that they didn't. Right. They were just like
I wish
they would show like
once.
2-minute sequences in like one city.
Yeah.
And then cut to, and then they did like 8 of those.
Yeah.
It was amazing still. Like, don't get me wrong, but it felt like it wanted to be longer, and I was craving more of it too. That was as good of like racing and or driving that I've ever seen put on screen.
All the other race cars too were so cool.
They looked incredible.
The Maserati was
and
so sick.
Here's the thing, Michael Mann is super adamant about accuracy.
So they made
those. I wouldn't surprise me if those were not like direct replicas of the original cars.
That's so sick.
And I'm pretty sure that they were driving very fast, like in reality. Like it was hundreds, maybe not 150, you know, like they were actually going,
Yeah.
but
Maybe
high.
80, 90.
Yeah, like higher than normal
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
I believe that.
And it felt like it, man. And that scene where they're cutting through just like that mountain range,
Dude, that
it's
was
like
so
you gotta
beautiful.
be fucking kidding me. This is the best.
Yeah. That whole sidewind trail, the one where the other one gets blown off to the side and just crashes, like nobody dies, he just like crashes.
It was kind of funny.
It was so cool beforehand.
Really intense, man.
That was like one of the best scenes within that race because there's the two of them coming around the bend and you can see.
And they somehow had the camera like mounted to the grill of each one, but it would pan between them as if there was somebody like going side to side while the cars were coming
that
forward.
Was really sick.
It was unbelievable. Like,
I love those over the top, like the top right hand or like the passenger side camera for the car. That's like my favorite.
definitely.
Like the low, it can be lower too, but just like over one side of it. Dude, that's the best.
Yeah. Incredible stuff. And then all of a sudden, I didn't see this shit coming. I didn't know anything. Obviously, again, what would I know about a race in Italy in 1957?
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's
That
for
was
real.
nuts. So the dude basically is like, put new tires on. And then he's like, nah, we got to win the race.
The driver says no, don't put
The
them
driver
on.
says no,
And,
which is what a driver would do.
and Ferrari was the one beforehand that had said it, but didn't say it that time before they mounted the tires to him, right? Am I correct?
He said you need new tires.
He did say it.
Yeah, he's like, why am I still here? And he's like, we're going to put new tires on. And he's like, no. And then they ask the one mechanical dude, engineer dude, whoever that guy is. And he's like,
mechanic,
he's
yeah.
like, will they make it? And he's like, yeah, I guess, basically.
They just get thinner over time.
But here's the
They're
thing.
just supposed to.
The tire was worn more than it should have been. But he did hit something.
That is true.
The tire didn't just explode,
Yeah.
you know? Now, had it been a new tire, would that thing maybe not have popped it? That's the argument.
I think so.
Well, there's
There's
literally no way to know.
Yeah.
But just saying, like, technically, it wasn't even his fault for not changing the tire. Because it's not like it blew up and that killed him and he fucked up. There was literally just a thing he didn't see. That would have at least maybe not had the same impact, but it would have, it would have punctured his tire and he would have fallen off and he would have lost.
Yeah.
Probably not died, though. Obviously, that's a lot better.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the car is going, 200 miles an hour or whatever.
That was the fastest that he had gone, I think.
Yes, they
It was
show him
this
basically
huge
just like
drag.
continuing to punch it and punch it.
Yeah.
And this is literally, it's on regular roads in Italy, and they didn't block any of the roads off outside of cities.
Seriously.
People are just driving in traffic, and they're like, watch for sheep and dogs. And it's like, okay, you just don't do anything. And there's people just standing on the side of the road as race cars go by, and they're literally still like bumping each other and shit. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And he hits something in the road right after he like sets himself on a path to like crush everybody. He's like way ahead of the pack.
He's like first at that time or
Yeah.
second, I think.
No, he was winning.
Okay, that's what I thought.
And the tire just explodes and it flies through the air, and then it just mows down like
whole
30
car.
people.
9 people.
Died, but it hit
Oh,
a
shit.
fuck ton of people. Killed multiple children and adults,
And it was all
and it
in
cut the
shot.
driver in half. Yes, it was like a semi slow-mo thing.
Yeah.
Harrowing. Very
Just, like,
effective.
Mowing down people.
We didn't even mention the driver that dies earlier that gives the kid that job in the first place.
Yeah.
He dies at practice.
He also dies and
in a crazy ass
it like
way.
pans over from the car to
is-
show his
It's
body.
technically the same type of
Car.
Well,
No,
yeah.
yeah.
It's the same car, but the same thing happens. It like flies
That's
and
true.
spins through the air.
Yeah.
It literally is the same thing, and he replaces that guy, and then it happens to him. I didn't
When
even
that
put
car
together.
spins out, though, they don't show what happens to the tire. They do just show it flying through the air.
Well, no,
Practically.
it's because his gear locked up.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. He couldn't shift. He couldn't downshift
Something.
to the turn or something.
Something, yeah.
And he just spins out, basically.
Yeah. And yeah, he hit something and then flung. So he didn't it wasn't because of a tire. But either way, same type of thing. And then basically the whole premise of the race was they're basically like, we need to win this race to raise the money to get someone to like basically merge with us because we don't have any more money.
Yeah,
Or
that's
any
the
more
premise
funding.
of them winning.
Which is
weird.
true.
It's weird,
but it's all
though.
true technically
Yeah.
from what I can tell.
Yeah.
Um
I assume you get money when you win first place, you know?
No, that's not what it was, though. It was the fact
You get
that
any money?
no, the point is they proved that they make the best race car.
Yes, yes.
So that's the team that another company would want to partner with, so they can have a winning race car in in all races. You want to be on the winning team. So if you merge with Ferrari, you now have the best racing team in Italy.
Yeah.
You know, or in Europe, whatever.
Yeah.
That's the real goal, obviously. So that's the idea.
They ain't
so
got no Ford over there?
So they proved to themselves. Well, they were actually going to merge with Ford originally, but Ford wasn't willing to let him run the racing team independently.
Oh, wow.
Because that is real.
I didn't know that negotiations with them went that far.
He did maintain control of the racing team like the whole time.
Wow.
And it's nuts, though. They're like, we need to produce more cars. They made 100 cars in 1957. I think they only make like a couple thousand a year now, like if that. They still don't make very many cars.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, Ferrari's like a super limited thing. I mean, you can get one, you know. It's not like it's...
Yeah.
You don't have to like go to New York to go get them or something. But you know what I mean?
Uh-huh. There's
yeah.
not... I mean, yeah.
They're not like...
As to like the what's the normal production of Ford?
I don't know.
Oh.
100,000.
I would imagine
A
it's
ton.
It's a lot.
An unbelievable amount.
I would
Plus
say 250,000 a year, right?
A dozen models.
Right,
also.
right.
Ferrari
Several
makes
models.
like 3 models.
Right.
For
And I
production.
didn't realize that those 3 models were that limited. That's really sick.
And then they make like a ton of race cars, obviously. But
They still spend a ton of money on racing, I'm sure, you know, to this
yeah,
day.
absolutely. That's their whole thing.
Yeah. It was fun seeing like the development of that side of, you know, I don't know, cars. It was super
That's why I
exciting.
wanted to see more of the development stuff. Yeah, that would have
that's a
been
good
way
point.
more
It
interesting.
would have been a lot cooler if they showed a little bit more of the mechanics. Kind
So
of
yeah,
how,
it's weird. There's like 60% of the movie is like incredible,
yeah.
and it's just that the other 40% of it is like bad. So it's a weird mix where I don't
I'm
know.
super excited to watch it again.
I'm torn on it. Yeah, I think I would like to see it again.
Because I don't know. I think I missed a little bit of
And Driver's acting is good. It's just the accent drops a lot.
yeah. I loved him,
but his
I did,
performance was phenomenal. I mean, he's such a good actor.
the vocal break at the end was very noticeable
Yeah,
with the kid.
very
I remember that.
like jarring.
I was like, what? What was that?
He's like, thanks, kid.
yeah.
The previous scene, he's like, Piero, let's go to the market. And then he's
No,
like,
and then it's
he's
right
like,
after
you are my son.
Yeah,
It's like, oh God.
it's right after he breaks character. Does his kid out the window start yelling, Ferrari, Ferrari? You're like, okay, who's this young boy acting like he's your kid, dude? But that scene was just that was brutal. The
Insane.
ending was brutal, and
The ending also, movie just ends. Terrible ending.
it's true.
Horrific ending. There's no resolution at all. Basically, he addresses the reporters and he's like, incredible. He's great with the media in the whole movie. Every scene where he talks to reporters is hilarious.
He always has his sunglasses on. It was like pitch black outside. He puts his sunglasses on to talk to them.
Yeah.
Which I thought was hilarious.
So he like says like a really great line. He has a lot of great lines in this, but he says like a really great line. And then that's it. It's just like, and yeah, those dead people, whatever, Ferrari lived on.
Yeah, that
which
was
I guess was like his
a hard
mentality,
thing
but the thing is just like
to maintain.
just like tonally in the movie, both in the beginning and at the ending, it doesn't feel like it's an intentional thing. It feels like it's just weirdly cut off. It doesn't feel like this was like a goal of theirs, you know?
Yeah.
Like it just seems like they just left off information on either end is really what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he just goes like, I'm not a villain, whatever. And then he just like has a nice moment with his kid, and then it's like the end.
Brutal.
And then then it just leaves away like there's like a little text thing, and it's just like Ferrari merged with whatever the next year. And then it's like then the lady died. And then it's like and then the kid's part whatever. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. The scene where all the scenes with him and Penelope Cruz were great.
I think Penelope Cruz is,
When they have the big fight at the end too was very good.
It was crazy
like,
how
you
much
killed my kid, basically.
Yeah, it was crazy how much she kept her composure through that marriage because he had a whole other kid. And I feel like
Which she finds out about during the movie. She
Dude,
was just dealing with a whole lot more
finding
already.
that out after seeing what she has to deal with in the daily, like
Penelope Cruz could be Oscar nominated for this. Wouldn't surprise me.
for Best Supporting.
I think so.
Yeah, I agree. And oh, dude,
Probably nobody else, though. Certainly not fucking Patrick Dempsey trying to pretend he's Italian.
he also broke character a ton.
Terrible.
I was like, what are you doing in this movie, dude? Why do you have to be in every movie?
I don't know. Yeah, it was odd.
He's like, because I'm Patrick Dempsey and I'm an Italian.
It's me, Patrick Dempsey. All right, that's enough, Ferrari. It was okay. Go see it. Go see it for yourself and you decide, because I can't really make up my mind. I wanted, basically, as I mention all the things I like, I'm like, oh, that was pretty good. But then I remember hating a lot of it.
I feel like they had a lot of fun making it. I'm not gonna lie, being able to just drive Ferraris around, dude.
Around Italy,
yeah,
seems
like that'd
great.
be an amazing time.
Absolutely. Who wouldn't want to be doing that?
The only thing that I was missing was like Willem Dafoe. Okay,
Sure.
I really want to watch Wild at Heart.
It's great.
I have never seen it.
You want to do your soliloquy on migration?
What do you know about birds? You know?
What? I don't know. They lay eggs. They live in nests. They do a lot of stuff. They fly, eat worms. You know,
What do you-
lot, I guess.
What do you know
Or
about
not
birds
much,
in
technically.
cartoons?
You want to just talk about the movie because it's
Migration?
not working. What you're doing right now, not working.
You want me to talk about migration?
Uh
I'll tell you about migration.
huh. Okay.
It's gonna be definitely best animated for sure. I don't know where they do that, but it'll be best animated.
At the Oscars?
Yeah, do they do that?
Yeah.
They're doing that.
You think it's gonna win best animated
For
at
sure.
the Oscars?
Okay, listen.
There's no chance.
It's post Minion era, man. It's Illumination's newest flick.
Keep saying post Minions era. That's not a real thing. They're coming out with a Despicable Me 4 this year.
I know, and then they're done. Then they'll be done. And
No,
then
there's gonna be
and
an-
then they'll make a Migration 2 and a Migration 3. It's set up for it, for sure. There was like
Okay, dude, but like, what does that mean? That doesn't mean it's a good movie. Like, what is your point?
It was such a fun movie.
Okay, why? Talk about the movie. I don't care. You're talking about the franchise. It's not gonna be a franchise. Nobody's gonna go see this piece of shit. Did you just chip your tooth? Did you just lose a tooth?
How's it look?
Dude, I think you did. Or is your tooth just like that?
Dude, I don't know. I think I chipped a tooth. Over migration? You gotta be kidding me.
So talk about it.
Okay, there's a dad duck, there's a mom duck, and there's two
Sure.
kid and there's two kid ducks.
Okay.
They end up migrating to Jamaica.
From?
They're in New York. And then before that, they're just in a pond somewhere.
In New York.
In
I
a
would
beautiful
assume.
pond. No, they end up in New York about 30 minutes in. 30 to 45 minutes in.
They live in Jersey.
I don't... maybe.
All right.
I don't remember. But anyway, they end up going on migration because they find this flock of birds lands in their pond.
Uh-huh.
Where the dad is...
Seagulls?
No, they're not seagulls. They're like... I don't know what they are, actually.
Sounds like you don't know much about birds.
I don't know shit about birds.
All right.
That's why I was so impressed. Dude, the water animation was beautiful. It looked,
Okay, so then the birds show up. Then what happens?
they're all like chill ducks and they're going south for the winter and they're like going south for the winter. The kids didn't have any idea. The mom was really impressed and the dad didn't want to leave. And so they have to convince the dad to go migrate to meet these birds in Jamaica.
Uh-huh.
They took off because they got into like an argument because the dad was like, "We don't want to go," and he's like, the other dad of the other flock, they're like, "Well, then we'll leave," and then they left, and they're like, "We have to go. We have to migrate," and it's just like debauchery all the way to Jamaica, and that's the movie.
So let me get this straight.
Yeah,
This movie
yeah,
is an animated children's version.
yes.
A children's animated duck version of National Lampoon's Vacation.
I don't know if they. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Not interested.
What? Not at all?
No,
That's a good
I don't
way to
like-
sell it.
I don't like fucking wacky kids comedies. They're not funny. I guarantee the writing in
Oh,
that
there's
is
some-
horrific.
There's some poor children gimmicks in
Slapstick
it.
bullshit.
Yeah, but it's fun and it looks cool though.
No, it doesn't look cool. It looks like a cartoon, Justice.
No, it looks a little different. It
No,
looks
their
better.
animation style's horrible.
I think that you haven't given
It's
it.
so goofy.
I think you feel that way because of fucking Despicable Me universe shit.
Dude, I've never seen any of those movies.
Yeah, me
And
either, dude.
You're like really upset
For sure.
about the existence of those movies because I think deep down you just really like all of them. And it bothers you. And you want them to stop making them so you can stop going to them secretly.
I don't go to them secretly.
You go to them openly.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good at least. But I think that's what it is. You're just like, I hate loving this shit because you know it's corny, but you love it.
I can't believe you're not into a good animated. Well, I guess you saw Boy and the Heron, so
And it was okay.
okay.
I don't tell me I don't love a good animated movie. You're calling Migration a good animated movie. That's what I don't like.
It is.
No, you have a low bar.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
Like Spider-Verse is next level animation. That's some of the best shit I've ever seen in my life.
Danny DeVito is in it. Oh my god, I completely forgot. There's an uncle in it too, and it's Danny DeVito, and Danny DeVito just is great the whole time.
As he is.
Yeah, it's really fun. And he's kind of just like the drunk uncle, but you know, he's
So where do they go other than New York? Or do they just go straight from New York to Jamaica, no problem?
basically that was the stop in between, like home and Jamaica was New York.
So
because
this
they-
movie's 90 minutes, I assume?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they spend a lot of time in New York, or they spend a lot of time just flying over the ocean?
In New York and a couple other places. I can't remember where else they stopped though.
But not anywhere notable.
No, they're all just like fairy
Generic,
tale
random
areas.
places.
Yep.
Okay.
One of them is like a swamp. You know, one of them's like got like hay.
That sounds horrible. See, that's not what a migration is. I don't like it.
They're
It's not
going
accurate.
south.
Yeah, and you just go from New York to Jamaica like that
There's
as a duck.
it's
It takes
just
weeks.
water.
It takes weeks to
they
do
jump. They jump in time every. You know,
that.
they
Jump.
Yeah, they go fast forward.
But the movie's called Migration. Why are you fast forwarding it? You're supposed to show the migration, not them stopping. The whole point is that it's a long journey. Why would you skip the journey? I want Duck Lord of the Rings. That's
Oh
what
my
migration
God.
should be. They're fucking stupid.
That's not a bad pitch.
Yeah, I know. I'm better than these people at this.
You're better than Illumination.
I don't know what that is. See, you talk about it like it's Pixar, man.
It is.
No, you have a weird deal, whatever, that I'm finding out about right now. With
Dude.
that shit. There's something going on with you.
You don't
Do
know
you have-
anything about.
hold on.
What?
Do you have a minion fetish?
No.
Do you have like a sex problem with like chicks in minion costumes? Do you want to fuck furry style minions?
No.
Mm,
It's not like that.
I don't know. What's it like?
It's not like that. It's anything but that. It's just the name of the fucking animation studio. You fucking.
Hey, you wanted to talk about this.
That's true. That's true because it was really fun, and I just
It
think
sounds horrible. Your pitch was horrible.
I'm not pitching it to
You're
you.
like nothing
you
happened.
were out of it before.
But this was supposed to be yourself. You're like, yeah, they're ducks. People tell them to go to Jamaica. Then they just go to Jamaica.
That's true. It's just a really good, life building lesson for like, I don't know, families or
So
something.
what? They just bicker at each other the whole time?
Yeah, they have their little gripes and struggles,
This sounds terrible.
I love
it. You psycho.
You're going to have to watch it now.
No, that's always what like DreamWorks and whatever else this is. I don't know. What is it called?
They become friends with a pigeon. It's really nice.
Okay.
The pigeon has.
Anyway, what all these studios do is they'll come up with the good concept, but then they won't execute it. Like Pixar comes up with the killer concept, and then they do way better than you could ever imagine it being. You know?
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, their batting average has certainly gone down recently, but
What was it? Yeah, I don't really remember their last one.
that's not the point. It's like the percentage is so high.
There really wasn't a ton of like emotional connection to
Correct.
these birds. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But they almost get cooked one time.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
No.
they almost got
See,
cooked.
of course they did. It's every cliche bird thing you could think of in the book.
Yeah. They
Horrible. It's not a good movie.
Dude, okay, listen. For this one situation that they're in, this predicament in New York, right? They got to get this key.
Is there like some Chinese racist shit? Is that what you're about to say?
well, kind of.
Yeah.
How'd you know that?
Because you just said it's in New York and they almost got cooked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can put two and two together
It's just
for a
it's,
poorly written film.
it's a sushi restaurant.
That makes even less sense.
Oh no.
Have you ever had duck sushi? That's not a thing.
It seemed like it was some like super high Michelin star restaurant with these crazy
Got it.
tabletops and
Got
like
it.
we saw it from like an aerial shot down because they had this beautiful big immaculate kitchen, and everybody was dressed in the nines when they were cooking.
Got it.
But they also had a complete roasted duck.
Got it.
Uh,
So they were
in
looking
some
to serve
window
more ducks.
randomly. I don't know. They serve ducks.
And it's
yes.
implied that Chinese people run around town and kill ducks in New York City.
No.
and serve them.
These ducks are hanging out with a parrot that is owned by the owner of the restaurant, the chef of the restaurant.
Okay.
They just so happen to also have an office upstairs where the parrot stays.
Uh-huh.
And they're going to get a key. The family of ducks, specifically the son and the
Uh-huh.
dad, ends up being just the dad. They get into a little pickle, so he's like, I'm going to go. And so
They need a key?
they got to get a key for the
what?
parrot's cage because they want to let their friend go, their new friend. Oh, no. The parrot is the bird that's going to get them to Jamaica.
Somehow.
Yeah.
Because he's Jamaican.
He's a Rastafari. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. So what? They go into the kitchen to try to get the key and they're just like,
They almost get chopped up.
so they're implying that Chinese people just kill ducks off the street. and
No,
serve
the
them.
ducks literally snuck into the restaurant and took the key off of his
Yes,
jacket.
but do you understand that that's not what like fresh duck is? You, as anyone should be aware that you can't just serve a bird you catch off the street.
A mallard, yeah, I would eat a mallard either.
It doesn't matter that it's a mallard. My point is that that's not how food works.
I understand that.
You can't kill a wild duck. You kill farmed duck
Yeah, I know that.
and serve it. That would be dangerous, is my point. So it's technically they're
Thanks
saying
for
that
reminding me that I can't actually kill the duck in the movie.
no. See, you're missing my point entirely. That's why I'm over explaining it to you.
Oh, okay.
The point is that they're so racist in the movie Migration that they're like, Chinese people don't follow health codes and they'll serve you street duck. You understand?
Yeah. That's so offensive. Yeah, the bird's also a Rastafarian, and I thought that was a little weird too.
Well, what happens when they get to Jamaica? How bad is that?
They really I don't really remember it. I don't think that
You're like, I don't even know if they made it.
No, they definitely made it, but it was just this wild sequence of like them flying with a bunch of like other parrots.
It was like them landing in
They
heaven.
completely dismissed global warming and climate change completely. They didn't everywhere that they went, even New York City, it wasn't really dirty, and if it was food for them. Or like when they were in any other place, it was just vibrant and lush and no pollution anywhere, and the water was crystal clear, you know. So that's, I don't know.
That sounds horrible. So I'm super glad you didn't somehow get me to see that movie, because I would regret it for any amount of money.
Well, I think that I highly recommend it.
If you love racist animated characters,
What do you mean?
sounds like it's a movie just filled with lame stereotype jokes. If that's what you like, I guess that's what you like.
It's not even like that.
Uh-huh.
I think that people should watch it.
All right.
Watch it on, I don't know.
Watch it for free only, folks. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, is that the end?
That's the end,
We're
bud.
at the end?
We made it.
Oh my God, I can't believe it.
Another one for the
You
books.
didn't watch Maestro?
Nah.
You didn't watch...
Did you?
I didn't watch Fargo.
Did you watch Maestro?
I did watch Maestro.
Is it
Another
good?
another bad stereotyped bullshit with the nose thing.
No, I disagree with that.
You think so?
Yeah, movies have
people talked
makeup.
about it.
Movies have makeup. Yeah, people talked about it, and they literally labeled it as Jew face, which as a term is worse than somebody trying to accurately look like the character they're playing in a movie.
I
Jew
did.
face?
That's offensive.
That's crazy.
That's awful.
That's crazy.
I didn't know that they did that to him for that. But I did look at pictures of, like, extensively look at pictures of the actual person, Leonard Bernstein, and I think that it kind of works. Kind of makes sense.
Dude, it's not offensive. Yeah, it's not offensive
It
at
kinda
all.
looks right.
People wear makeup to look like people in movies.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
It's just a huge overcorrection of the right idea of making movies more inclusive. That just then turned into the idea of, well, now nobody's allowed to play any character but what they are. And it's like, well, acting is literally that. So it's like, include people based on their race, but they don't have to play their race. That's
Yeah.
not what acting is. That's what people don't want. You know, that's the whole issue that a lot of Indian actors have. They just get typecast as the Indian guy,
Yeah.
which is, that's also going away, slowly. But it's the same issue.
Did you watch Babylon?
No.
Oh.
No interest.
Well,
Although Damien Chazelle is talented,
who's Damien Chazelle?
the director.
Right on. I think I knew that.
I haven't seen First Man. He did that one, too.
Didn't see that either.
Ryan Gosling is an astronaut. What more can you ask for?
I watched High Life with Robert Pattinson as an astronaut.
How was that?
It was super good.
Love him.
Lots of fun.
Patty's on a run.
Actually, it was pretty miserable.
Well, those
It
are
wa-
conflicting things.
It's a well done movie, but it's really sad, honestly.
Got it.
Yeah, highly recommend.
All right.
I'm sad to see us go. I guess we'll see you soon.
We'll see you soon. Well, if timing is right, we're recording this in advance, but next week should be the New York recap episode if we can get the gang together.
We can.
So if not next week, it'll be the week after. So get ready for that because I'm sure there will be shenanigans.
Live stream.
Justice is going to piss himself this time. I'm counting on it. All right. Rate,
All I gotta
review,
do is
subscribe. Rate, review, subscribe to Requiem for a Tuesday. Appreciate you for listening. 2024, bigger, better than ever. Get that fucking shit out there, you fucking stupid fucking bitch. Yeah.
Stop.
Woo!
Pea brain.
And remember,
Oh my God.
I are fat. You are fat. We are fat. Calculator.